I guess I have to say words now out of my mouth. Hello, everybody out there. Man, so excited to be back in this room with one of my dearest friends on the whole entire planet. So this is in this. I'm gonna without scratching my eyes. This is in this room, episode 15. How do you want to be introduced? Jaylondon? Jaylondon in the building. So we got some notes here that we're gonna go to. I might redo that intro.
Okay.
Just because I wrote some down.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Or we just keep it in here because it's authentic. You know what I've been thinking about doing is getting I need like an intro. You know, where it's like there's music and it's like switching between clips of everyone like like laughing. Like, oh my gosh, this guy is such a good interviewer. You know, so this morning I woke up early ish. And I'm like, let's run to the coffee shop and write down some questions from my girl Jay. So yeah, fuck it. This is all gonna stay in. So good morning, everyone. Today is a very important day, very special day, because I get to wake up and pursue my dreams. This is In This Room, episode 15 with Jaylondon. And today we're in this room. This is the room we're in. We're in this room.
Hey.
So today we have a very important guest. I wrote down some notes, but I could just freestyle how magnificent and amazing this person is. She has a beautiful soul, and she's incredibly talented, and she supports me more than the majority of people on the planet. Well, obviously the majority of people don't support me on the planet, but out of all the people that I know, she supports me damn near the most. So I love her with my heart, and I love her with my soul, and she is my sister. I wrote down she's all of that stuff, and I wrote that Jesus himself orchestrated this woman to be in my life to help me become a successful musician. Because that is my goal. If you guys don't know, I spit bars, I rap lyrics fast. I say words quickly. And so Jalen produced the first ever Send Me Your Instrumental. Jalen was in the That Was Fun episode 13 with The Cave. I think it was 13. And she was also up there on That Was Fun episode 16. So I just want to give a warm welcome to the show, to the crib, to the channel. Everyone welcome Jaylondon.
Appreciate you, pal.
Welcome to the crib. How you doing?
I'm good. Those are some kind words. Thank you.
I could keep going.
No, I appreciate you.
Like Joey Badass on Sway in the Morning. I could keep going.
Joey Badass. Yeah, he has some pretty good songs.
Yeah, Joey Bad is an influence. You know, I remember listening to 1999.
Yep.
When we were playing
Till
Skate.
Infinity, son.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rest in peace to Steez. And also, yeah, we were playing Skate 3 back in the day, back in these old rooms here, and I remember we were listening to 1999, and also my friend Max Chavira, he had just played me Cocoa Butter Kisses.
Nice.
For the first time, and I got an introduction to who Chance was. Chance had a pretty good career too. He went on to be, you know, he got 3 Grammys for his third album.
Yeah.
And he was completely independent. And we had so yeah, I mean he made it.
Yeah.
But you think he's still respected today?
Yeah, I do. I think he's just, you know, when you made it, you can kind of decide if when you're not signed, you know, he's independent. You could decide when you want to drop some music or when you want to just coast and chill. So I think people are probably like anticipating his next, you know, music creative endeavors. But yeah, he's still respected.
Yep, he's still respected. He made it, definitely.
Yeah.
I guess I should say this is the interview show where I bring on my friends and my family, and you guys get to know the important people that have influenced me in my life. And so I met Jaylondon maybe about 5 years ago now.
Yeah.
At a show, and I remember she was with one of my friends, Jamie.
Yeah.
I guess we knew each other kinda.
Yeah.
And we linked up kind of immediately. It was really fun, and who would have thought that when we met that day, just it would have gone into where it is. Not only to mention.
Shout out to Jamie.
Yeah, shout out Jamie Cope.
Yep.
Shouts out to her wherever she's at. Shout out to Kellalit, wherever Kelly is, Kelly Lit. She's like the only girl from my high school that's still doing music. Still pursuing. Maybe Will Godby is too. So I mean, I got a couple questions that we could go down.
Yeah.
We can go anywhere you want to go. This is your time. This is your feature. You're featured on the channel, and the channel is going to get lots and lots and lots of traction. So you can say whatever it is that's on your heart that you want to influence the people with, that you want to talk to the world about. So what direction you want to go? Is there something on your heart that you want to talk about now? Do you want to dive into some questions that I got going on?
Let's see some questions that you got.
All right, I got a bunch of questions. So you're just starting to get to know Jalen, a very important influence in my life. Someone I would not be where I'm at if it weren't for Jay.
Oh man, these are some.
Oh my gosh, it's so true. I mean,
man.
I'm talking a lot, but I have stories that I want to tell about you. But let's just get into Jay.
Okay.
So I wrote down. I hope I'm not gassing you up too much. I'm not trying to. I'm just saying.
Listen, I will take the gas, bro. No, I'm just joking.
Yeah.
No,
okay, well, I wrote
you.
down you are gifted.
Thank you.
I underlined gifted. On the drums.
Yeah.
Like with the pam. And so I just want to know what inspires you to start making beats, and also how has being a part of the producing community impacted your life in any kind of way?
Yeah, I mean, my whole journey as like a musician, I started, on the instruments young. You know what I'm saying? My mom had me in piano at like 12, and then we didn't have a lot of money, but that was like an extra curricular outside of school thing.
It was like a personal.
Yeah, I mean, my sister actually wanted to play, but then my mom got me in it, so I was like, okay.
Shout out Jazz.
Shout out Jazz.
Shout out Will.
Shout out Will. And yeah, I had a thing for drums. Like I would be drumming in school. I would just kind of have these visions of me drumming. So I like begged my mom to get me a drum set when I was, I don't know, 13, 14, 15, one of those ages. And I started playing every like 90s song, like Lauryn Hill 90s, like all this contemporary Christian music, all this other stuff. And so I started just kind of getting the songs, and then I became into interested in the guitar. So I think my interest kind of fell in love with music, with like real instrumentation. And then I remember like 2006, 2007, my homeboy that I worked with was like, hey, I got the new Fruity Loops.
Yeah.
You want me to rip you one? And I'm like, rip me the new Fruity Loops? Yes, right?
What does rip mean? Like download it for you?
Like, yeah, but having to pay, like
absolutely.
On some pirate type, you know what I mean? So
no doubt,
I'm like, absolutely. So I started making beats through Fruity Loops, and then Reaper, and then GarageBand. I made a whole album out of GarageBand that I've never put out yet, that I'm actually still working on right now.
No way.
But anyway, GarageBand, Logic, and then Ableton. But my main right now is Logic. So I think that's what kind of got me like into music.
Nice. You said Christian. You were playing Christian music?
I was playing contemporary Christian music to practice from, and then I was also playing from my church at the time, like a little bit after that at the time.
Okay, cool. So you grew up in the church?
I mean, grow up in the church was probably like, I wouldn't say grew up in the church. I say that my mom introduced us to Jesus in her way.
Like a spiritual hands-on kind of way.
Like, didn't force us. My mom never forced us to go to church. My mom never forced us to, learn about Jesus or God. She told us, I wanted you to find your own way. But we have to think about like modeling after your parents when you're young. You don't know, and then you get older and you're like, oh. So I watched my mom talk to Jesus. So
started talking to Jesus.
Yeah.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
Nice. So, I mean, that's always good, to have some kind of understanding of something, of like a higher power in some kind of way. Because if there wasn't a higher power, then we would be the biggest things. And it's always good just to attune to something bigger than us that we'd think loves us and that thinks has a path for us.
Yeah.
And as you and I know, like just as an example, last night, that we are
Yeah.
on a journey of.
Yeah.
We're not on our journey. We're on a journey of someone who has written this path out for us in front of us, and we just try to surrender to it. And so I think my greatest advice to anyone out there in the world is just that God has a path for you, and that if you try to sacrifice the things that are not on the path, life is going to get better. But keep going with these questions. So I know that you've done shows. You've booked a lot of shows and you've made a lot of shows. I know you're like an event coordinator.
Mhm.
Would you say that? Would you define it that way?
Yeah.
What started what? How did you start getting into making shows?
I'm gonna be honest with you. I was 24, 25 at the time, and like I, when you're almost a quarter life, what is it, like a quarter century life crisis,
Yeah,
whatever,
quarter life crisis.
quarter life crisis. So I was kind of going through one of those, and I'm like, all right, what do I do? What do I do? What do I do? Like I could go back to school. I could do anything. You know what I mean? I could whatever.
Yeah.
And I just remember like praying, like actually praying, and like asking God, like, hey, what should I do? What kind of direction?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like all I need is one word. Like you let me know what's up, and then I'll meet you halfway. I'll do what I need to do, you know?
Yeah, all you need is one word. That's fine.
Yeah. So like I got this phone call to like, hey, can you MC at my event? Can you blah blah blah? I'm like, yeah, sure. I fell in love with it. Like,
yeah.
Fell in love with
it was
like
something you were good at.
Hyping the crowd up,
Yeah.
talking to people, getting them engaged. And so from there, I kind of started my own thing, and I felt the direction of God be like, yeah, this is it. So
Art Alive
movement.
Yeah, you've worked with some pretty big names.
Yeah.
You want to share the names?
Or
who are some of the biggest names? I guess is a better way to phrase that.
I think some names that I've worked with in like the faith-based world would be Jonathan McReynolds, Jackie Hill, Preston Perry.
If you could work,
John Gibbs.
Oh, sorry.
No, it's all good.
If you could work with anybody, if you could have a show, where would it be? What would be the venue? What would be the theme? Who would be the names?
If I had a show with anybody, where would it be? Who
Yeah.
would it be? Where would the names be? Shoot. I definitely want to book Tyler, the Creator.
That's a hype answer. I love that answer. Tyler's close to me. I feel a connection with Tyler. Keep going.
Also, I would want Lauryn Hill.
Tyler, the Creator, and Lauryn Hill. That'd be sick.
Yeah, that would be fire.
100G.
That would be fire. 100G, absolutely.
I'll open for them.
Absolutely.
I will modestly open for them.
That'd be fire. Who else would I want to work with? Jessie Reyes too.
She worked with Eminem.
Jessie Reyes. I don't think she's worked with Eminem.
No,
but she's like a Latina artist. She's fire.
Yeah, I want to say she was on not this Eminem album, but the last one on Kamikaze. Am I wrong? What was that song?
I mean, maybe I'm sleeping on that. I don't know though. I also would want to work with Kanye West for sure.
Yeah.
Like on a production side, like who I'm making music with, these are all the people that I would want to make music with as well as booking them.
Yeah, that would be insane. Shouts out to Ye and his genius craft. Yeah, that would be an insane lineup. That would be super fun.
Yeah.
And where would you want to hold it?
I don't know, bro. I'm thinking something a little bit more unconventional. Like I probably would want to shut off a couple of blocks.
Yeah. Sick.
Yeah.
In SF maybe?
Yeah.
Cool. All right, well, I got a question that's super that I really want to know. And I think you've told me a little bit about this answer, but I think it might be good to get it documented.
Yeah.
And the question it needs a little bit of a preface. So, we have a squad. I've already recorded Berkeley Boy. We did an interview with Berkeley Boy. I did an interview with Hunter. I did an interview with Mohammed. Dave would be the other person in the squad that hasn't had an interview because he's always behind the camera. And now we're doing Jalen. So that's like pretty much my top 5.
That's what's up.
Yeah, with my best homies. But everyone supports. We talked about this at the bench. Everyone supports me in their own way. But you support me so closely. You really. I remember one time on the phone you said, "Just tell me what to do." You know what I mean? Like, you respect that I got the vision and that I'll lead you in the correct direction. So my question is, why do you help me out so much?
That's a good one.
Yeah, because like I said, I got friends that are there for me, but you're like, "All right, what's the move? 100G?" Like, you believe in me, and I want to know, just like, what in your heart makes you want to put your faith in me and give me your time and energy like that, because I appreciate it forever.
That's beautiful. Yeah, no, I appreciate the recognition. Thank you. Yeah.
I'm gonna buy you a car.
Hey,
I'm gonna buy the whole squad cars.
I appreciate that.
I'll buy you 2 cars.
Hey, let's get it. How about a car and a house? You give me a
I
house
don't
and
know.
a car. Give me a house and a car.
Yeah.
2 cars.
Well, if we're putting $200K down for a car, might as well put that towards
for a house,
yeah.
man.
Or your
tiny
mom.
house.
Or buy your mom a house.
Yeah.
Like that.
No, I appreciate it. No, I think my belief in you is definitely just recognizing the talent, bro. Right? And also, like, feeling like I'm doing God's work,
Mm-hmm.
and also, like, I don't know, man. I'm really huge on support thy homies.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right? Because I know I support you in a way that I know that you'll support me as well. Right? And
absolutely.
So that's super, like, I'm super big on reciprocation and super big on, like, support thy homies. Like, it's free, right? Instead of having friends and homies that you secretly compete against, and, like, you secretly, like, no, man, like, I want everybody to win.
Yeah.
I want everybody to win. And, like, my homies that I rock with, I know they want me to win too. Feel me?
Yeah.
So it's like, why would I not go hard for the folks that I believe in?
Yeah, absolutely.
You know what I mean?
That's tight.
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate it. Forever. So, who are some people that support you in your life?
Say you, Kayada.
Yeah, Kayada was in No, that was Fun episode 10.
Yeah.
It was called Now Go Be Godly 2. She let us use her studio for the F. Maybe I paid her. I don't even remember.
Maybe a little something.
I think maybe like, yeah, it was less than 200 if I did pay.
I don't know.
Yeah, but that was one of my favorite. That was fun. And so shout out to Kayada that she let us use the studio.
Hey.
Oh, and she was on In This Room episode 8. So that was 7 episodes back. So shouts out to Kay.
Yeah. Kayada.
And what are some of the longest relationships that you've had in your life, other than Will and Jazz?
My sister, my brother. I would say I have some childhood friends that I still know.
Yeah.
I have some high school, some middle school homies that I still know, that we still get up and, like, we have events and little, not events, but, like, they'll like throw a party, but it feels like an event because it's like the best party. Shout out to Annabelle. Yeah, but all my like childhood friends, they're all, like, married and, like, with children now, and we still communicate, we still talk. Yeah. And then I would say some of my like my YWAM homie peoples, and then some of my folks in LA.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. I asked that question because I was thinking, like, I was gonna ask a question along the lines of, like, what has broken up a relationship for you in the past, but I didn't want to focus on that. I wanted to focus on connection, and like I've said to you before in the past, that I love you, and that we're in this shit forever. We're in this ride.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And we're only gonna be on the planet for another 50, 60. I'm like, yo, my brand is keeping it 100. Yeah. It's just being real and speaking the truth and being authentic.
Yeah.
And speaking what's on my mind.
Yeah.
And I'm like, all I have to do is just keep it 100 for the next 50 years and we'll be friends forever. That doesn't even seem like that doesn't even seem that hard. You know what I mean? So it's like,
just to stay authentic, stay true.
Yeah. I read, I would, I got some homies that are in my life, but don't really show me that respect and love, bro. And it's just a shame when the homies that I used to dap up turn into bars.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I gotta rap about the lessons I gotta rap about the lessons that I learned from them rather than spitting to them about the lessons that I learned.
Yeah.
You feel?
Yeah. That's life. I feel like relationships are really beautiful, and I think I've come to realization over the last couple of years is like not everybody that you want to be forever is going to be forever, right? And the people that started out with you sometimes isn't going to always finish with you. And I think like when you both have the same energy and the same, wanting the same trajectory, like, yo, we're in this forever, right?
Mm-hmm.
My intentions is to definitely be in this with you forever, right?
Yeah.
And I think like having that want and desire versus like, hey, like you may be like, yo, I want to move in the next 6 years, or I want to move in the next 4 years. I don't think that it's gonna like take away anything. It's just gonna shift. It's gonna like look different. But there are people that like just don't reciprocate as much, bro. There are people that are just not as real.
No, you're right.
You know what I mean?
I talked about that in this room that I did with myself. I think it was episode 10 where I interviewed me because I had a homie fall through and I'm like, okay, I'm here. And I remember Kanye did an interview like that too, where it was Kanye interviewing Kanye.
Yeah.
And so I interviewed myself for episode, I'm pretty sure it was 10 or 11. I want to say it was 11. And I was talking about in that interview about how you can't really do anything when you want to be closer with somebody and they don't want to be close.
Yeah.
And it's sad too because I was telling my mom about this yesterday. I want to be when I am down for you, when I love you, I want to be as close as we absolutely can, like siblings. Like that whole squad that I just listed off. I wish we would pop off in 2 years if we all just got in a house together and built. And just grew
that'd
together.
Be fire. I think that's like what I'm also hearing too is like it's cool to have friendships and navigate friendships that kind of want the same things as you, right? And I think that's super, super beautiful and like, heck yeah, like, hey, let's go get the commune real quick, right? And then like, I don't know, I've also been into relationships too where like, you love somebody more than them loving you. And then you learn yo, I don't want this.
I'll text someone and then a couple hours will go by and they haven't responded to that initial text, and then I have something else that I want to text them, but I'm like, I don't want to just stack these layers up. I just want it to be like pop all day.
Yeah.
You feel? And that's why I feel like you and I connect and collide well too, because I think we do want the same things.
Yeah.
Yeah. And also we're rooted in God. Together.
Yeah.
We're rooted in Jesus, and so if anything were to go awry, we would know that wasn't the will of the Lord.
Yeah.
So everything's good. And in regard to, I get a little skeptical sharing my dreams, but in regard to the house and the cars, man, I just have no doubt that there's nothing out there that you see drive by. There's nothing out there that if you go to the city that is super nice that we cannot have.
Yeah.
But on the same note, there are things on the world too that you can't have in order to get those other things. So if you want that, like the Aston Martin, you can't have overindulgence of this other stuff.
I see what you're saying.
Because I was thinking last night when we were at the...
Kind of like sacrificing.
as I just spit in Send Me Your Instrumentals episode 9, which is coming out tonight, which is before this interview is dropping, I say it's the world or your spirit. The choice, it's your choice to decide. You either get the world and you can please your flesh. And I've sat in the same exact chair and said pretty much the same words. There is nothing in the world that will fill up the hole in your heart that is the size of God. There's nothing. You can't eat as much ice cream. I could go get 10
gallons,
10 gallons of ice cream and eat them all. And I'm going to feel worse when really it's like, oh, it feels good. Feels good. But it's bad. But at the same time, God created all of it. Like God created tobacco. I don't smoke tobacco, but it's like it's on the planet.
Yeah.
God created marijuana.
Shout out to tobacco. Shout out to marijuana. Shout out to opium. Everything God created. I mean, we don't do it, but
did God create? Well, I don't know.
I think so, bro. I think is it? Yeah, that's a pull up the tongue.
Well, God didn't like create meth, but He created man to create meth.
Yeah. Nah, that God definitely.
So just
God definitely.
You just dabble in it.
I don't know, but like I do think about like what are these things are used for? Like cocaine comes from a coca plant. I know we're way off subject.
No,
right?
Yeah.
But cocaine comes from a coca plant. It's like maybe these things were used for like I don't know medicine back in the day.
Yeah, there's got to be some kind of function.
Some type of why things were created.
Yeah, my homie used to always tell me, he was like, dude, mushrooms just, now we're really off subject. He's like, mushrooms just grow on the ground. He's like, they were put on the planet to try them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So all the kids listening out there.
Drugs, don't do them.
God created drugs. So therefore, it justifies using them all the time. Dun, dun, dun. So you just moved down to LA?
Yeah, like since 2021.
Oh, wasn't it more recent?
Yeah, I had my place.
Oh yeah, you had a crib down there.
And then I was going back and forth, and then I became full time March of this year.
Saddest day in history.
Shout out for letting me crash at your place for all those nights.
Oh my gosh, story time, real quick. Okay, yeah, Jalen spent the night here 3 nights in a row, and in that time, if you guys go back, so man, I'm talking about me a lot, but I upload every Friday. I have a video every Friday, and I stopped doing the videos for like 4 weeks, 5 weeks, and Jalen came to my crib, and I'm like, maybe we should get these videos back rolling. She said, you definitely got to do it. So these videos wouldn't be made. I wouldn't have That Was Fun episode 16, which is the greatest display of 100G in the whole entire world. I wouldn't have that Now Go Be Godly, That Was Fun episode 10. I wouldn't have any of the Send Me Your Instrumental catalog. So it all comes from Jay, and she's going to be rewarded supremely for that. So what are some of the biggest differences that you see with LA folk and Bay Area folk?
Sheesh, good question. LA folk is like, let's work. Like you could literally be walking. You could go to a coffee shop and somebody's doing something creative, right? Like,
yeah.
You could bump into somebody and it's like, hey, what do you do? Oh, I'm a photographer. What do you do? Oh, I'm a, A&R. You know what I mean? Like It's just, you find somebody who is super like creative and like could potentially help you. I think LA is more so of like, work, like it's good for work, but it's not like the Bay. The Bay is good for hearts, man, heart to heart connections, interactions, authenticity, realness. Like you actually asked me, yo, how you doing? No, like really, how you doing?
Yeah.
LA is like, how you doing? Oh yeah, can you finish this mix and mastering? Like, can you finish this for me? You know what I mean?
I was going to say maybe the relationships are a little bit more frivolous.
Yes, exactly.
You have more of them, but they break a lot easier.
Yeah.
You don't really see the authenticity down there as much.
Nah.
Oh, that means we've been going for 30 minutes. Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I just gotta repress that button.
Yeah.
Sorry, my biggest fear is technical difficulty, I swear. Great, so but you're enjoying it down there.
Yeah.
And yeah, and you got a cool little network. I mean,
got a cool network. LA's good. For me right now. It's good for work, but it's also good for like healing, if that makes any sense.
Okay.
Like personally healing from some things and blah 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 blah. And so LA's good for just having me. When you're away from your family, your friends, and you spent your heck of years of your life in the Bay Area, and then you leave all that, go to LA. Your circle out there is super super small.
Yeah.
Um, you're kind of forced to focus on yourself.
Right. Do you have are you part of any institutions down there?
There's a church that I like to go to.
Church. Yeah, what church is it?
It's called the
Okay.
One LA. It's I go when I can. I work on
Is
Sundays
it
and
young
stuff.
young adults?
Yeah, young adults, young creative.
Cool.
Yeah,
That's good. So you're working on Sundays.
yeah.
Man, you know what's so cool, which I think is such a testimony to where such a testimony to man, if I'm just speaking freely to how far I've come. I was disappointed today that I had to go to work because I'd rather be working. You know what I mean? I could sit at that desk all day today and
Yeah,
just push energy and make moves.
yeah,
But I'm like, "Oh, I got to go."
yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah.
Which is what I think God wants because if he's going to bless people like you and me with the freedom of not having to go into a 9 to 5 and just be able to go to Italy when we want, do a show here when we want, make these moves, these big kind of moves, these level up kind of moves. He's got to trust us that we know what we're doing in some regard, and then we need to have something on the background. I talk to a lot of people at work, and it's just work. You know what I mean? So for you and me, man, I was praying today at the coffee shop that I do not let my homies down
Yeah.
because there is in one of these verses that I'm spitting that nobody has even heard. Maybe one guy heard these bars out of context. I say through all these bars we'll see escape. And it's like a promise to the squad that we're gonna make it.
Period.
And period. And I couldn't do it. Like I said, and that was from episode 16 of the Headlands. I couldn't do it without any of y'all, and I wouldn't want to do it without any of y'all. You know what I mean? So yeah, we do both have to work right now, but I'm getting to a point where I got something like it would be more beneficial for the world for me to sit at this laptop and just push energy out, making moves all day, than it is for me to go to the restaurant. But I just hope I don't let the homies down.
God's trusting you with the small things first,
Yeah,
and then you know what I mean?
you're right. We're growing in
Yeah.
in
'Cause
many regards.
I'm the same way sometimes, you know what I mean? Like, you know what
Yeah,
I mean? You know
yeah,
what I mean? But
yeah. I mean, life isn't subject. We're not subjected to life. We're gifted life.
yeah.
And so many people are like, oh, they don't believe that there's more, and like that's why we're sitting here right now is just to express to the world that you can have anything that you want. Anything that you want. Read this book right here. It's called The Science of Getting Rich. It'll change your life. Read this book after that book. It's called The Sermon on the Mount by Emmett Fox. Change your life. And then read this book after you read that book. It's called The Holy Bible. This will change your life. Read the book of Romans. All right, so back to Jay. Thank you for allowing me to just free ball here. Free ball. Do people say that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Free stuff. Well, yeah.
Okay, let's just do a couple more questions. Let's just get a little personal, okay?
Cool.
Cool with that? All right, this first question that I wrote down here today was, what is kind of the biggest challenge that you're facing right now? And what steps are you taking to overcome it?
That's a good one. Biggest challenge.
One life. One life. So whatever it is on your heart that's stirring, it's okay. We can.
Yeah, I would say There's two things that come to mind. I mean, financially, one is like finances. Like I want to be making. I don't want to want for anything.
What's the number?
Honestly,
Yeah. Hell yeah.
something that I'm going for, like 250 a year.
Yeah, 250K.
Yeah,
How much is that a month?
roughly probably 5, 6, maybe more.
No, it's more than that.
I don't think so.
No, yeah, well, I'm making
5 times. Yeah, it's probably like 10, 13.
no, it's got to be more than that. It's got to be like 20 a month.
You know what? You could be right because my math right now,
Well,
I'm
if
not
it was
doing it.
10, if it was 10 a year, then it'd be 120. So
Yeah,
we got
10
to
a year,
double that. So
120.
it's 20.
So yeah.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I believe you can have that, but I'm gonna let you keep spitting. Though.
You know, thank you for that. Because I mean, my goal, and that's another thing. That's probably why. I mean, obviously, I gave you wrong math, but my goal is like I want to be making more than 5, 6K,
Yeah.
right, a year. I mean, monthly. But I do want to. I mean, that's just my goal. That's my goal. I know it sounds perplexed. Like, yo, that sounds like a lot, bro.
Who are you talking to? That
I
doesn't
know,
sound like
I know.
shit.
You should take a little bit of credit for that way of thinking. That abundant lifestyle of like, yo, I want to be able to afford my dreams. I think for me is like I don't want for anything, right? I don't want for anything, and I want to be able to help myself, but I also want to be able to help my family and friends, right? And so I feel like for me,
Help your family and friends.
yeah,
I think you take God's increase and then you ask him to multiply it by 3. And then you take God's increase and you say, "Thank you so much, God. I tithe it all. I love tithing. I find joy in tithing.
that's what's
But
up.
make sure you give 10% of every
Yeah.
paycheck somewhere. You don't have to give it to the church. Recently I've just been sending it to coworkers. One of my coworkers is like whatever.
Yeah.
But that's how God entrusts you with it. That you're using the money that He's giving you to expand the kingdom of God.
Yeah, for sure, 100%.
And so, here it says in the Bible. I'm not sure this book is inerrant because it talks about slaves and shit. About like how you can treat like the best way to treat your slaves.
Yeah, I think a lot of that. Yeah, that's a topic for a whole nother time.
Okay, great. Okay, well
yeah.
then, I'm gonna take this as truth. I'm gonna take the Holy Bible, that this is water, and that this book is alive, and that this is what it says on the topic.
Yeah.
This is a verse that I like. That he that sows sparingly also reaps sparingly, and he who sows bountifully also reaps bountifully. So let each one of us give as he purposes in his heart, not grudgingly or of necessity, for God loves a cheerful giver. And if God is able to make all grace abound towards you, that you, always having all sufficiency in all things, may have an abundance for every good work.
It's fire.
So finances was one.
Yeah, finances was one. Definitely wanting to financially have a little bit more freedom. I mean, I'm taking those routes. Any kind of thing that opens up that I could do. Like not only do I DJ, I'm a massage therapist in 12 years. So not only am I a massage therapist, I'm also in sales with corporate Best Buy. I work from home, and then there's other little things, other little ways to make income. But I am thinking about going back to university and school, right? And I'm already I'm going to be like a transfer student, so I'm already done with my credits. I'm transferring. Shout out to the schools that I'm applying to, and then I would say, yeah, so that is just to
quick question. I'm gonna interject and kind of try to expand upon this. If you could get paid in any way, how would you get paid? You're the most ideal way for you to get paid, like 10G checks, 15G checks.
Music.
Like how music?
Music for sure. Beats productions, DJing, live performances for sure. Yeah, 100.
And you've made money doing that before, right?
Yeah.
10x. That's the Lord 10x. Yeah. All right, and the next thing.
I would also say for the other thing that I guess being the kind of person that I am, who's so family and friend oriented, being in LA can sometimes, even though could be with a lot of people and could be in a room full of hella people, I feel like sometimes it could feel a little bit lonely, but I don't look at it as in like, if I could say anything, it would be like making friends with loneliness, right? And using loneliness for my advantage. Like, what are the things that I need to work on? What are the things that I need to not run from? Or what are the things that I need to, okay, why am I feeling lonely? So, not necessarily being like, okay, well, these are natural human emotions, but like, how can I use this to help me, right? Whether if it's changing my perspective, whether if it's spending time with God, whether
Yeah,
if it's spending time with myself, whether
yeah.
if it's making art, like really just I'm finding myself, I would say.
Like sitting with those emotions
Sitting with those
and
emotions.
seeing what is God doing in this season.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
Because He's always doing something.
Yeah.
Even when I can't see it, you're working. Even when I don't feel it, you're working. You never stop.
Oh, is that You Never Stop
You never
Loving?
stop working.
Who's that with?
I don't know. Some worship is so good.
I
You
probably
never stop working. I can't tell you the name of the song.
Elevation worship music, probably.
I'm not sure. We should
Yeah.
hit up Bethel.
Yeah, I've been to Bethel a couple times.
Oh, you been to Bethel?
Shout out to Bethel.
Yeah, we should hit Shasta. We should hit LA.
Yeah.
We should hit Switzerland.
Switzerland.
We should do That Was Fun in Switzerland,
That'd be fire.
where we buy Omegas on Bahnhofstrasse.
That'd be fire.
That'd be tight.
Switzerland.
Yeah, we should do like That Was Fun Australia. Just travel the whole world.
That was fun. India, bro.
Yeah, okay.
India
Now you're
might
thinking.
be fire.
Yeah, I wouldn't that wouldn't have even crossed my mind. J. Cole's got that bar where he says, even when I was ass out with my funds low, it's nice to know I had the whole world at my front door.
That's fire.
So it's like the whole world is just right out there. And this book says that there's nothing out there that we can't have. That the whole entire world has already been conquered if a man overcame death. And we accept that same spirit and it goes inside of our bodies and that we live with that same power in us. So there's no temptation that's too strong that we can't overcome. There's no chains of addiction that are too strong that we can't break. There's no car too nice that we can't drive. But it's also we're liberated from it. It's not like we need it to have a fulfillment. It's like it's like tobacco. It's like it's here to complement in a way. But you don't overindulge in it and you don't base your whole entire life off of it. It's just here.
Yeah.
And that we accept it. We accept the spirit in this moment and we can be full and live in the kingdom right now. But at the same exact time, let's go have some fun.
Yeah.
You feel?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's go have some fun. So I think we're kind of running out of time. But I got a couple questions. We'll stay on the personal route, okay?
Sure.
All right, so this is just me and my Tony trying to channel Tony Robbins.
Okay.
Kind of just like trying to excavate something that you got going in you, and then maybe you can leave this interview a little bit stronger than you were before, with something that you didn't have before. So I just want to ask you, what do you think that you need to get rid of? What can you distance from or stop indulging or engaging in that will get you closer to Christ?
Low key, like probably negative self-talk or just entertaining a lot of negative like thoughts. You know what I mean? Or like revisiting my past a lot.
Yeah, absolutely. Do you regret?
I revisit my past a lot, and sometimes I feel like God is telling me like to heal from it or to deal with it. Like for an example, I was just reminded, like, I like to reflect a lot, but I have to make sure that I'm not ruminating, right? Like I'm reflecting versus like spiraling and going down
Yeah,
this rabbit hole of like, you know, deep and dark rumination over blah blah blah. You know what I mean? Like, so I don't know. I feel like having that awareness of like, all right, reflect, but not blah blah blah, and like don't spend so much time thinking that you could have changed this or changed this person or
yeah,
changed this person's love for you, or spend time like on some like, had I not done this, I would have been here. So I think like training my thoughts and training my mind.
that's great.
That's what.
That's really good
Yeah.
because it's so important. In this book here, the Sermon on the Mount, it talks about how your consciousness is actually the only thing that is worth working on, because your whole entire human experience comes from the level of your consciousness.
Yeah.
So if your consciousness is down here, you can't experience anything beyond it.
Yeah.
So it's all up here. The whole entire world is right here.
No, for real.
You know?
Yeah, for real. Yeah, no, I mean, I think I'm at a place now because I have been doing a lot of, healing and a lot of work on myself as well. I think I'm like the awareness is, key. Like I could now decipher like, okay, maybe I'm too much in my head versus like, here's the present. You know what I mean?
Yeah, here we are
So
now.
I'm now able to recognize these things and being like, okay, like this is probably like, don't spend too much time.
Yeah, I feel like ruminating is negative, but reflecting is positive.
There we go.
Yeah, and reflecting is like, okay, how can I benefit or do something different in the future? Ruminating is like, dude, how did I?
Exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah. So I have that awareness of like, reflect, don't ruminate. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
don't spiral.
don't
'Cause I
spiral.
can spiral. I can spiral.
Yeah,
I can be. You feel me? I can be a tornado of a spiral. You feel me? So I'm like, nah. Like,
and then with the,
what did Frank Ocean say? A tornado.
that's what I was thinking.
Yeah,
A
bro.
tornado flew around a room before you came. Excuse the mess it made. It usually doesn't rain, and
Yeah, bro. Be like tornadoes all in my mind. So it's just I'm
that's
I'm
dope.
letting up. You feel me?
Yeah, and then just expanding, just going further. Does the rumination or the tornado then lead to like bad habits? Because a lot of the times, if we're not like super strong or rooted, which I'm not saying you are, I'm not applying that to you. It's like you got all these negative emotions and negative feelings in your head and your brain, and then you reach for something to make those feelings go away.
Yeah.
Does that apply to you?
I think lately, as of what I have been doing, is basically as soon as I feel something or like a thought or whatever the case may be that's shouldn't be there, or it could be something as small as negative self-talk,
Yeah,
doubting myself, imposter syndrome, or blah blah blah, or blah blah blah, right? I have to know who I am,
yeah,
and I have to remember who I am. So I think yeah, it did form bad habits for sure. Like,
yeah,
it makes you could start thinking differently about yourself versus like how God sees you type, So
yeah, for sure.
yeah.
That's great. That's the perfect transition. That's too bad. That's gonna ring for a little bit. That's a perfect transition because what I wanted to say about that, what I wanted to say to you
Sorry.
about that is that those thoughts don't come from God,
Yeah.
and I pray for prosperity consciousness for all the homies. But what I would just say is just not like I have the answer, you know what I mean? But
Yeah.
just responding
Yeah.
is that I would say just pray for God thoughts all the time.
Yeah.
And like I said in this new album that I'm putting out, 2025, is I give my problems to God. Like, what is your assessment? Like, what do you think about this?
Yeah. No, word.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and how do I move forward with it? Something that is so cool and that is the truth of the world is that people have the ability to do something that is outside of the will of God. We have free will. I could do something right now that fucks up somebody's day. you know?
Yeah.
And then, but with that being said, you always can respond with the will of God.
100%.
Because someone does something, and then what am I going to do? Am I going to hit them back? That's not what the book says to do. You know, not necessarily physical, but am I going to get them back? Am I going to get them back for what they did? It says in here that just like revenge is the Lord's. You know, he knows what happened. Yeah, and he knows what happened, and he's going to see fit for how it does. Like I was thinking recently, if someone were to kill me, I honestly think Jesus would be fucking furious at that person. You know what I mean? Because he's been working on me. Like imagine you're like sitting there like building like a clay pot or something for hours. Yeah. And someone just comes in
for years, bro.
For years, yeah. Or something, you've been working on this bitch for a minute, really refining it, and then someone comes and hits it with a baseball bat or something like that. Same thing, like you and I, his creation, who he cares about. If someone were to murder him, and then it's crazy that they can just be forgiven. All right, so Jay, it's so crazy that it's 11:40, so I gotta bounce.
Yeah.
So I always end. Well, this has been really fun. I wish we could go for longer. You know, this is like kind of just a little taste of you know the conversations that we usually have.
Yeah.
But it's always about how we can help y'all, essentially, because we have given sources, resources, and visions, and 100G fans are gonna eat the next decade. I swear. If you know me now, you can get fall away for the explosion. Interview what's the fusion. Listen for improvement. Hey. I'll talk when it's time to talk. Until then, I'm a student. You know, look ahead, keep my head down, follow plan, I'm staying prudent. This is stay, please, and must. You know, so I end the interviews usually the same way. But Jay,
yeah,
let's say this is the last piece of content that you get out to the world,
mm-hmm.
and that they're gonna play this back as. You know, right now I got on my tab Martin Luther King's final reverend speech.
Mm-hmm.
This is Jay's last interview.
Sheesh.
What are you saying to the people?
Man, I would say love yourself as much as possible. If you don't know what that looks like, try to embark on it. Like figure yourself out. And as you're figuring yourself out, get homies that are going to support you. Because you need a really, really, really good support system, starting with yourself and then your homies. And I would say stay creative in ways that are conducive to yourself and to the world, and try to let go of anything that doesn't serve you. So that could be negative thoughts, that could be, you know, people that don't really love you. You know, life is so short, so remain in good spirits. That's what I would say.
That's phenomenal. Life is so short, you know, and it's just a ride. So I'm so excited. And then the last thing that I wrote down was just thank you so much.
Thank you, fam.
No, because you are the homie, and we are.
Thank you for just keeping it solid and keeping it consistent.
I'll do my best. One. I would rather.
A lot of love.
I wouldn't want to live a fake life.
Yeah.
Wouldn't want to do it. I don't know if I'd rather be alive than to live not being myself. So thank you for everything. Give me a hug, and we'll see. You guys will see Jay in the hashtag future.
Hey,
we out of this bitch. All right, tight. That was perfect. Thanks so much.
Fam, I can't wait for you to like your plan to continue with this.
Oh,
we're there.
Yeah, that was fun. 22 is the one. That was fun. Episode 22 is really the one.